Larodar, Keeper of the Flame, is the final boss of the Fire Wing from Amirdrassil, the Dream's Hope. This fight involves players calming down enraging burning spirits by putting the flames out of them, then restoring them to full health so that they can assist in the restoration of this seed. The whole time, Larodar himself is trying to burn the world to the ground, spreading out lava pools, charging around, and just being a nuisance. So let's break this whole fight down. On pull, drag him to the side and get him right beside one of the lava pools. We need him to be as close to lava pools as possible to save space. Early on, he'll summon 3 Treants. All DPS need to switch to these and kill them before they get off any casts. Interrupts are available. Once they're dead, healers need to heal them to full health. Once they are, they'll become friendlies that will wander over and begin channeling into the seed in the middle of the room. This will give the seed an energy bar above it, which will be very important for several effects throughout the boss. Occasionally, the boss is going to begin channeling a charge targeting the current tank. Based off how far he goes will determine how much damage he does to the tank, and he'll apply a debuff to the tank, drastically increasing the damage they take. On heroic difficulty, the distance he travels also reduces the amount of damage he deals to the entire raid when he hits the tank. So tanks need to run as far away from them as they possibly can and pop a defensive cooldown to survive the incoming damage. As he moves along the charge, he also spreads fire pools, so it's our recommendation to run out into the outer field of lava to reduce the spread of lava pools. Once the charge begins casting, it will complete on whoever it began casting on. This means that you are able to taunt him during the charge cast to ensure after hitting the charge, he will come to the other tank and will not kill your active tank. Periodically throughout the fight, he's going to do these swirls of red that will then send out spikes in their wake. On heroic difficulty, this effect will also summon several orbs. These orbs will float towards the boss, and if they touch him, drastically increase his damage dealt. If players touch the orbs, they get a critical strike buff, so your highest damage players should be trying to pick these things up to get a massive increase in damage. Each player may only soak one orb, so you cannot collect multiple. In this phase, the boss is also going to summon some searing brambles. These are going to fixate on a player, chasing them down and dealing damage. These things need to be killed as soon as possible, and then again are going to need to be healed by your healers. Once it's at full health, it'll become a renewed bramble, and when the boss reaches 100 energy, he's going to begin casting Raging Inferno. This is going to wipe out your raid unless you're able to stand in the effect of a renewed bramble. On heroic difficulty, the roots are not targetable unless the power from the seed in the middle of the room has been used on them. So let's talk about that. As long as the seed has energy, a player can right-click on it to begin vomiting out green energy. This energy can be used to remove the fire from the ground, and on heroic difficulty, making those brambles targetable. Every second that you're channeling this breath, the seed loses energy, and multiple players can click the seed at the same time, draining the seed faster, but having a larger area that you're clearing out with that breath. On heroic difficulty, this gives you a 4-minute long debuff that stops you from using the seed again. So you have to rotate out which players are going to be activating the seed because they're going to be locked out from then on. Phase 1 is just a constant repeat of this cycle, so kill Treants, heal them, restore the seed, use the seed's energies to clear out the fire, make the brambles targetable, kill the brambles, heal the brambles to full, hide in the brambles energy circle to avoid the boss's wipe mechanic. Dodge the fire swirls while collecting the fiery orbs. All the while, the 2 tanks are running out into the fire whenever they're going to get charged at and then swapping targets. After casting Raging Inferno 3 times, the boss is going to begin casting the intermission, Consuming Flames. This requires a major healer cooldown to keep everybody up as he pulses a lot of damage and pulls everybody in. After Consuming Flame, he'll begin Phase 2. This phase works completely differently, and the seed is no longer an aspect of it, nor is healing anything other than other players. So first up is the soak mechanic, Falling Embers. Several soak zones are going to show up, and players just need to spread out and take each one of these. It's major damage if any of these are missed. Next up, he will do a cleave in front of him that will mark every target with a brand. Once you are branded, you can no longer receive healing except by standing on top of other players. You also receive a constant ticking amount of damage, so you need to stand in a group of your allies to stay alive. Tanks need to swap when this debuff goes out. Flashfire will mark several of your raiders with big red circles. It will also give them a heal block. After 8 seconds, they will stun everybody in their zone, including themselves, if the heal block was not removed. This will also deal a burst of damage. Your healers need to coordinate healer cooldowns for this going out to be able to heal all the targets quickly. Fire Whirl creates fiery tornadoes that knock back players that they hit and deal significant damage. These need to be avoided at all costs. Ashen Call summons a bunch of treants around the arena that will walk in towards the center, focusing on players. These will leave a burning ground behind them, which will make you run out of space. Players need to switch to and burn down these as soon as they spawn, so as few of them are able to get into your central ring as possible. Finally, throughout this phase, Searing Ash constantly pulses out onto the group, a stacking debuff that does damage over time. As this phase is extremely rough, I would recommend saving Lust for when the transition begins, and then trying to burn him out of this phase as quickly as possible. For this phase's strategy, burn down the Ashen Call treants as soon as possible, avoid all of the swirls on the ground, avoid fire tornadoes, spread out if you get red circles, and heal off those heal blocks. Try and stay close together so the people that get the white ring are able to siphon health away and stay alive. And finally, soak all those soak points. If you do all of these things correctly, congratulations on your first kill of Larodar, Keeper of the Flame. I'm Zesty Phresh from Games, and we'll catch you guys next time.